Good afternoon and welcome back to Nick's Picks Vlogs. We've come out to Hungerford again today. I know I haven't done a vlog for a long time, but we've been busy and it's been too hot and I've had a couple go wrong, and with one thing and another I haven't put one out. But like I said right at the start, it's just a bit of fun, it's a hobby. So I think I got a bit too serious about it, if you like. And I don't take it seriously. Just it doesn't pay the mortgage. Anyway, in my last vlog, if you can remember back that far, you might have remembered me saying this. Next week, probably going to do a what's in my bag. If anybody's interested. So what I'm going to do is go through my bag, what's in my bag. I've got everything with me today, even though it's so hot. Got everything with me, lenses, camera, everything. So I'll talk through all what I usually carry around as we go through, walk along the river, walk along the canal. I'm really hoping and praying that we see a couple of kites, as in the bird, not the actual people flying them. And then I'll be able to strap the camera to the lens and do a bit of point of view photography as well. So we're going to make our way down towards Hungerford, along the canal, along the river, and I'll speak to you in a little bit. Just been tracking a red kite and a buzzard actually, so if anything comes of any of those, then I'll stick them up. Just sort of having a bit of a walk around and see whatever I can find really. I'm not after anything in particular, although I have seen a few shots by Tim Day and a couple of others as well that have put up black and white images because the skies are so deep blue. So I'm looking to try that with one of the lots maybe, just to, I didn't actually realise that made for a good contrasty image until then. So yeah, I'll probably try that. So working our way up to the river, let's just have a bit of a swim, and then I'll start going through the stuff in my bag. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so while Jess is having a bit of a swim in the river, it's a good opportunity to tell you about the camera that I'm using. We'll start with the camera. It's a Pentax K1 full frame camera, 36 megapixels. It's not the fastest camera, 4.4 frames per second. But as landscape cameras, you won't get much better, in my opinion. The dynamic range on it is amazing, and it's got the Astro Tracer, GPS, Wi-Fi, and everything that you need from a good DSLR camera. The articulated screen helps if you're doing sort of low-level photography. It's got a very easy to use setup, and it does me down to the ground. Definitely won't be changing the camera, I don't think. Not in the very near future anyway. Okay, turning our attention to the bag. The bag I'm using at the moment is a Low Pro 250 AW. It's a new bag, I just got it. Only a few compartments in the bottom, but it carries everything I need it to carry. Does a good job. You can keep your filters in there, spare lens, that's my macro lens, the camera release, camera's obviously sitting there. A couple of bits up here for memory cards, probably get a couple of batteries in there if you wanted to. Compartment in the top, if I can just show you. Bottle of water, that's where I keep the big lens, batteries, spare memory cards, cloths for cleaning the camera, just anything else, sort of the odd sandwich here and there maybe. And this one has actually got a compartment at the back, just excuse me, for a decent sized laptop as well. So that's my my go-to bag at the moment. Is what I'm using most of the time. I stepped up from my messenger bag, and it does the job. It's much better than the messenger bag, much easier on the back, and much easier to carry. Obviously the tripod goes on the side of the bag, and yeah, so that's the bag. Sorry if you think coming across very good, but it's the first time I've done one of these. I'm actually using a ISO Edge to film you on. I've got two of them, so I can show you this one. This is the one on the Joby. You do a lot of B-roll with this one, and then the one I'm filming with you is actually on a gimbal at the moment when I'm talking to, and it's the one that I do most of my talking into. So yeah, Jess is having a bit of a swim. That's a few of the products that I've gone through. I'm going to go for a further walk on up to the top, have a bit of a drink, a bit of a sit down up there, and then I'll go through some more. I'll see you in a bit. Oh, we made it up onto the bridge again. My dear wife is waiting for a train, so she can get a little toot. It's like the done thing when we come here. Just had some nice walk through the river. Jen's had a good swim. She's nice and cool now. I think she's nearly bone dry now, to be fair. I've been tracking a couple of red kites and a buzzard. So if I've got anything, I'll put it up. Waiting for the train, then we're going to take a seat and I'll talk you through a few more bits of what's in my bag. So I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so far we've gone through the bag, gone through the camera. I use a Manfrotto 190 carbon tripod. It's the 4-section tripod rather than the 3-section like most landscape photographers use. It's just easier to carry around, I think. It folds up a little bit smaller. It might be a little bit heavier, but it works for me. And I've attached the Manfrotto ball head to the top of that. Gives you a nice solid base for any landscape photography that you're doing, and any photography for that matter. The ball head rotates and moves around really freely, so if you're tracking a bird or something like that, then it's quite handy. Probably should get a gimbal to track them properly, but until I can get half decent at catching birds in flight, then I'll stick with what I've got. The lens that you might have seen a minute ago on the camera was the 24-70 f2.8 lens. I got this when I got the camera. It's my go-to lens for everything really. Landscapes, portraits, photos of the dog, everything, unless I'm tracking a bird, in which case it'll be the Sigma 50-500. Another good lens, I'll show you that now because it's on the camera, because I've been tracking a bird at the moment. So it's a rather large lens, and you do need to be on a tripod for it. But it's not too bad a lens. It's nowhere near the quality of the actual Pentax lens itself, the Pentax version, but the Pentax version is £2,500 and that was just short of 900 quid. So that's the difference. I haven't got the money to use sort of the high-end stuff. The camera is about, and the other lens I got is about as good as it gets at the moment. Still saving for the 70-200, so when I get that, I'll see how that goes, and I might trade that in against it, but we just don't know. It's a leaf filter system. It's easy for me to use the leaf filter system because it means all I got to do is get an adapter for the different lenses that I've got. Different lenses that I got, and it means that all the filters will fit on any of the lenses. I don't have to get a different ND filter for this lens and an ND filter for that lens and polarizer for this lens. It all works with the same, as long as you get the adapter. The adapter rings about £30 or £40 for each lens, rather than £130 or £140 for each filter. So it's a much more economical way of doing it for me. It's not to everybody's taste, but for me it works. What else is there? There is cable release, long exposures when you're in bulb mode, essential. You can't do it without it unless your camera's got a really good timer. Mine's got the timer, but I much prefer to use this. Doing 3, 4, 5, 8 minute exposures, you need something like this just to open and lock the shutter open, and then you can shut it manually. Very cheap. I think that one was about 12 quid, something like that. Get them off Amazon, eBay. So what else is there? Oh, the mic. I upgraded the mic about 6 months ago. This is actually the Rode lav mic that I've got that you see attached to me, and that's attached to, I'll try not to disturb it, this H1 unit. And once you get it working properly, it works really well. But I had it sort of switched on to one of the wrong settings for quite a while, and I couldn't get it to work, and pulling the air out. But eventually we got there. I've got various other bags. I've got the Manfrotto PL120, I think it is, but it's too big for things like this. It carries a lot of kit. And I've also got like a little, just a camera bag that if I'm just going out somewhere, like Bath for the day or something like that, then I can just put the camera in there and I can just sort of take it in and out as I need it. You're not going to be carrying a tripod, you're not going to be carrying your filter system or anything like that, so it's quite a nice little bag for that, and sort of got a good shoulder strap on it, so you can sort of forget that you've even got it on you. So yeah, so that's the kit. Apart from the K3, which I'm probably going to be trading in very soon towards getting the 70-200 lens for the K1. The lenses for that, I obviously got the 18-55 kit lens for the K3 that came with it, and I've got the 18-270, which was my go-to lens when I was using the K3. The 55-300. The 50-500 Sigma also fits that camera, which is why I got it in the first place. I knew it was going to fit both cameras, and all the lenses fit both cameras, which is what I quite like about the Pentax system. You don't have to get different lenses for the different camera mounts. And I've also got the 50mm prime lens, but it's the cheaper version. And I've just purchased, as you've seen some of the photos that I've put recently, the 100mm macro lens, which is one that I'll usually carry around. It's a great little lens, and it's not very heavy, tucks away in the bag, and you just never know when you might want it. So yeah, I carry that one around all the time. So yeah, so that's my kit really. If I think of anything else on the way back to the car, then I'll sort of let you know what else I do carry around. I've got myself a little gimbal, and it's not a GoPro one or anything like that. It's a cheaper version. It's got a very funny name, but we'll just call it the G4S for now, and I'll put the proper name up on the bottom of the screen. It's a good gimbal, works well. I think it does. This is probably the first vlog I've done with it, and I've had it quite a while. But it just goes to show it's been a while since I've done a vlog. So yeah, enjoying the sun, Hungerford Common, watching the world go by, hoping to track a couple more birds, see if I can get lucky. I take so many photos when I'm tracking birds, and 95% of them are crap, to be honest. They're sort of blurry and out of focus, and so a lot more practice needed. So we'll make our way back down towards the canal, back down towards the river, back towards the car, and I will catch you in a bit. Okay, another vlog in the bag at last. Sorry it's been a while since the last one, but I don't know what it's been. I've been struggling of late. I don't know whether I'm trying too hard or what it is, I don't know, but I think a part of the trouble with my vlogging is that I do it in the same locations over and over. I don't know, you keep hearing the same things about go back to this location and try again and take it in different times of the year and all that sort of thing. I've done all that. I really would like to get further afield, so maybe I have to just try a bit harder to get a bit further afield. It's just not always easy. Got a couple of nice shots back there of the bridge and a couple of different ones. I'm going to change a couple of them to black and white, definitely, just to see what they look like, and just so you can give me your opinion on what they look like. So any comments would be great, so please do leave a comment below. If you haven't already and you would like to subscribe, then please do hit the subscribe button. It is really much appreciated. I can't tell you how much it means to me, I really can't. And if you already have subscribed and you want to know when they're coming out, then hit the little bell and you'll be notified when they go up. I usually try to upload I should say, every Wednesday at 6. I say every Wednesday at 6, I haven't done one for a few weeks. But that's when they do go up, if they do, is Wednesday at 6 PM. And I know it clashes with a few other very well-known vloggers, so I may change it in the future so as it doesn't get swamped out by the likes of, well, I'm not going to mention any names, but I think we all know who I'm talking about. So yeah, coming up to the last lock up top here. It's going to be my last photo of the day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.